Hello everybody, this is Kinetic, and I'm here to give you another crash course. This time it's going to focus on the Protoss units. The first unit we're going to look at is the Protoss Zealot. As you can see, it starts off with very similar stats from StarCraft 2. Two attacks of 8 per attack, 0 plasma shields when it first starts, and a base armor of 1. And it is light and biological. Now the one upgrade that applies to the one Zealot specific upgrade rather is the Zealot leg enhancements, and what this does is it boosts the overall travel speed of a Zealot. Zealots no longer have charge. The Dragoon has returned from Brood War as well, and it maintains its signature blue blood. However, its very dumb AI has been excised from the game. Now, the base stats of a Dragoon are exactly the same from Brood War. It does a whopping 20 damage, but of course it does explosive damage, so your mileage may vary depending on your attacks, or what your target is. Now, the Dragoon has a base range of 4, but that can be beefed up to 6 with the Singularity Charge upgrade you can find at the Cybernetics Core. The Stalker has received many changes since StarCraft 2. Its base damage is now 8 with a range of 5. However, they are much quicker. They also start off with Blink, and you have no need to research it. They also have the passive ability to look up cliffs. They also have a very unique damage class called Plasma Damage. It deals 50% bonus damage versus light units, such as Zerglings. Now, as you can see, it can look up cliffs without the aid of an observer. A few changes have been made to the High Templar. Most notably is its ability of hallucination. To use hallucination, all you need to do is hit the hotkey and then select the unit you wish to hallucinate. Then you will get 2 copies of that unit. It will retain all abilities from the hallucinated target. They of course do no damage and can be revealed by a detector. They also take a little bit more damage from all sources. The Dark Templar has not received any significant changes. However, the Dark Archon merge is still not available in Starbuck. A few changes have been made to the Archon as well. It now does a base damage of 30 regardless of the type of unit it is attacking. Its range has also been nerfed from 3 to 2. However, it still does significant splash damage and should not be counted out in a fight. The Observer has 2 upgrades now. The first one is an old one, which gives it a speed boost. The second one, which is more interesting, is called Phase Shield. What this does is makes the Observer untargetable in a passive manner. Once activated, the other player must actively target this observer in order to kill it. You will not be able to rely on the AI alone. The War Prism behaves very much like its StarCraft 2 predecessor. It does have the upgrade for the speed boost, and it can still turn into a mobile pylon. The Reaver is a very slow but long-range artillery unit that's made its return for Brood War. It uses Scarabs as its attack and must be built. You can right-click to turn on or off the autocast to build a Scarab, and each one costs 15 minerals. Its base damage is 80, but with an upgrade you can boost that up to 100. Whenever a Reaver targets something, you will see a red reticle appear on the target. This allows the other player to move its unit out of the way with Micro. The Reaver is best used in conjunction with a Warp Prism. As you can see, its attack does massive splash damage. The Corsair is the Brood War air superiority fighter for the Protoss army. It does 5 damage at a rate of 0.53 a second, and does a small area of effect for all air units nearby. Oopsie. It also has a channeled ability called Disruption Web. Any unit that is underneath this dome of energy will be unable to fire. Be very careful of how you use this, however, because any unit that is under it is unable to fire. This includes your own. The Sentinel is a new unit in StarCraft. It is made out of the Stargate, and its main role is a light harass/utility unit for this Protoss army. Its main attack, called Disruption Web, does 6 damage at a range of 5 every 1.18 seconds, so it's not the hardest hitting thing in the world. However, its true power lies in Null Ward. This is an ability that once placed will take 6 seconds to arm, and once it's armed, it will detonate at a damage of 30 base, 20 against light, and 45 against shield. It has a range of 5, and can attack both air and ground units. It will stay there until a unit passes by, at which point it will lock on and hit. Once it hits, it will do an AoE slow as well as damage. However, if the other player is quick enough, they can shoot it right out of the sky before it activates. Its second spell, a utility spell, is called Glare. What this does is it immobilizes the Sentinel, however, it allows it to detect units. The Scout has returned from Brood War as well, and though it's had a rough history, I think it's finally finding its place within the Protoss army. Its air attack is called Antimatter Missile. It does 2 attacks of 14 damage each at a range of 5. Its ground attack is Photon Blaster, does 16 damage at a range of 5, and all of its stacks are explosive damage. However, the true power of the Scouts comes in the ability called Phase Missiles. What this is a long-range feedback which also does AoE. Carrier has arrived. It is very similar to its StarCraft II counterpart. Its interceptors do 4 damage each, has 2 attacks per attack, and has a range of 8. And of course, it can build interceptors automatically at a cost of 25 minerals each. The new thing about these carriers is that they have a micro range, where you can release the interceptors and then back away from the battle a little bit. This will keep the carriers very safe while the interceptors do all the wet work. The Arbiter has returned from Brood War with a few minor changes. The first change is that Cloaking Field no longer cloaks air units, and it is only effective for ground units near the Arbiter. It still has Stasis Field, which, once active, will put all units within its range into a stasis lock. Once in stasis, these units cannot attack or be attacked, and they cannot move. This is very useful for splitting an enemy army in half, killing off half of it, and then waiting for the other half to thaw before killing the rest of it off. And of course, it has Recall, which teleports up to 20 units to the Arbiter from any part of the map. Thanks everyone for watching.